Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Good to you on this Monday from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios. As always, Jim Reamer joins us from Courtside, Indiana. How are you, sir?
Relaxed, right?
Relaxed. It's got the birds chirping. Sounds like coming from
Sitting
Augusta
outside.
National.
Yeah, I don't know if the view's that nice.
Well, the
Sometimes it's
sounds.
better. Yeah, it's a good view.
I had to
The
walk
road,
outside. It's so nice out. I'm like, wow, it really is just incredible outside.
and just so you know, the road that I showed you wasn't here when I bought this. I've been here since 1999, so a lot has changed since I've purchased this place. So
Wyatt said he saw you in the main gym while the team he helps with, Lagodi, played against Riley.
probably, well, you may have saw me. You may have saw me there, but I didn't stay for that game. I did see Lagodi play Oak Hill though. Watching Peyton Bledsoe
Oak
basically
Hill
go
Academy?
against Oak Hill near Marion. So basically, it was Landon Beagle versus Peyton Bledsoe. They are two very similar players. One's left-handed though, one's right-handed. Outside of that, they are extremely similar.
We've talked about Floyd Badunga and Xavier Booker and how well he played, but where is it? What is? I know that there's a situation with him allegedly tied to an assistant coach to a school. Is that what exactly is the truth to that?
The truth, I don't know what the truth is. The implication is that he's somehow tied to Drew Adams at Bradley, and that he's a part of the Mark Adams' A Hope program. I don't know if that's true, if that matters. I know that Kokomo had the requisite international program to accept Badunga, and and if there's any A Hope ties or any I don't know if there's any leanings relative to that situation. I mean, he would be just as tied to Nevada as he would be Bradley, or just as tied to where Bill Delaney would be working as to where Drew Adams might be working. A lot of that stuff is message board fodder. I think it's
so this is just based BS for the most part. Then,
well, I don't know.
I don't want to call it BS, but because we were talking before, I mean, as his services or the people seeking them, he's up on his trajectory is just shooting straight up. He's rankings are gonna be coming out higher and higher and higher, and be getting much more attention, and much more sought after.
Well, he plays for Adams, in the summer, but it's not like they've been steering their high major talent to Bradley. I mean, it still has to be a process where Bradley has to form a relationship, recruit him, and none of that is. I don't. That was. Yeah, I don't know. That's just message board fodder. I don't know if it's because, look, Flory came to this country without speaking a whole lot of English. I know he has been sheltered a little bit by Coach Peckinpah at Kokomo. And full disclosure, Coach John played for me at when he was in high school. He also played for Dane Fife at IPFW. So I know John wasn't happy when Dane got fired, but I don't know that that's going to carry over into some sort of recruiting issue, and a lot of that has been stitched together to try to create this issue that if it exists, I don't know that it exists. I doubt John, I doubt Peck holds that kind of a grudge. If Indiana staff comes in and forms a relationship with the kid and communicates well with the coach, then the dog guy I assume would be interested. But I don't know what his thoughts are, and I don't know. I honestly don't know how comfortable he is talking to a lot of strangers. To be honest, he's so fresh to this country, and so fresh to the English language that a lot of that has been, some of the early discussions had been stunted. Now, up until June, the only discussions he could have would have been initiated through a coach. or through a proxy. And that's where someone like Adams would come in, or someone like a school coach would come in, because they could call the coaches. They couldn't call the kids directly until June 15th.
It seems like, but there hasn't been any rumblings of other schools or much chasing him, involvement with him, to my knowledge.
Well, let's see if I can't get to my stuff here real quick. He has picked up some offers. I just need to find where they are. Um,
Well, I'm sure he got offers. I'm just saying it just doesn't seem like he's getting the attention that someone that's playing as well as he is playing would normally be getting.
right now, his offers are Wake Forest and Creighton, and
2 offers. That's crazy.
That is, and a lot of it is, look, some of them do need to see him play, and I know they got a chance to, and sometimes, look, some schools have standards in terms of how they dole out their offers. They do. Some schools do require that a kid comes to campus. Some they do require that they meet with the staff, they meet with the players. It's not always just as easy as making a phone call and throwing out an offer. Now, that doesn't mean he wouldn't have more offers, or shouldn't have more offers, because there's a lot of schools that don't. But a lot of those staffs are pragmatic in how they handle things, and that would be one reason why maybe he doesn't have the assortment of offers that he has. And I would respect any program that had that type of process and was willing to stick with it.
Up at the Charlie Hughes this weekend, what stood out to you? What did you see that happened up there?
Well, the Bedunga Booker battle was what everybody was looking forward to, and it kind of went like I thought it would. I mean, Bedunga was dominant around the paint on both ends of the floor. His motor is relentless, and he did a lot better job of guarding out on the perimeter than what maybe we even expected. I know that this is what we've talked about in the past, is playing against coaching, playing against size, the things that look good in camps, the things that look good sometimes in summer situations, don't always translate or transfer over to school ball situations. It's just because there's more emphasis put on just team defense, for example, or maybe even a little bit of scouting, a little bit of adjustment making. And Bedunga did a great job of not ever letting Booker get by him. There was never a time where Booker got to the paint without a body on him. There was never a time where Booker was able to get too deep in the half court where he wasn't forced to change directions, and he struggled with it. And a lot of the stuff is things that we've sort of talked about in the past. But he did show off a little bit of range, but it wasn't consistent. I think the guy that does some podcasting with us had him 6 for 19 from the field on the day, on the game. But there's some video going around where he's got some pretty spectacular plays, and he's capable of making those plays. But again, it's just a different situation when you play against coaching, and it's a different situation when you play against someone, when you're that big and you play against someone your size, it changes the game a little bit. And Bedunga got free anytime he wanted to. And that was a big part of why Kokomo was able to stay with him. And a lot of teams haven't been this month. I mean, Penn was able to beat him. Penn was able to beat him, and Burton was able to have a good game, utilizing a lot of ball screens and getting in the paint, making plays, and there's a lot that has to be explored when it comes to looking at what translates to a higher level. And that's where I think Bedunga shines, because I think the things that he does extremely well will translate, because a lot of it is effort and his persistence and his quickness. He's so quick with his feet, and just a phenomenal athlete. And he was impressive. It was a great matchup. I definitely expected him to hold his own against the older player, against Booker, who's a year older. but he dominated the matchup from pretty much the start.
And that's kind of amazing. What does that do to I mean, obviously his recruitment is going to continue to go up, but when you outplay a guy who is being sought after by everybody, that's just going to you would think bring a ton of interest now.
Yeah, it
To
should.
him.
It should. You know, and a lot of this stuff isn't. Look, a lot of this stuff isn't controlled by just the players. You know, it's a lot of the attention comes. The attention comes from media. The attention comes from people who put together rankings. The attention comes from, and the rankings come from the context of what class they're in. You know, Booker being top 5 in the class of 2023. I mean, Romeo was 5th in his class. Trace Jackson Davis was 23rd in his class. And you know, looking at the RSCI or the RCSI, which is the composite of the different rankings, kind of the average score of what they were ranked, and all the different places that provide those rankings. And I don't know that he would be as good as either one of those two guys coming out of high school. Maybe in the class of 2023 he is compared to his classmates, but I think a lot of people are putting a lot of undue pressure, a lot of undue expectations on the top kids in this class, in the senior class. If they think that there's some of these dudes in the top 5 or 10 are as good as Romeo or even as good as Trace, and that's not just a Booker thing. That's each of them. Because I've seen a lot of those guys. In 2023 is not a great class in terms of the top tier talent.
Nope. We've got lots more coming up. Jim Reamer from Courtside, Indiana is with us right now. We've got more coming up, and we'll be back with, brought to you by our good friends at the Courtroom Sports Bar and Grill down in Bedford. Make sure you stop by and give them a visit, part of the WOW Club. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.